Trump just invoked the Alien Enemies Act. Oh, that's great. Glad we had a nice buffer. The whole time I was actually just panning it out. The camps are calling. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure this is only going to be applied to Tren de Aragua. What's the Alien Enemies Act? An extremely uncontroversial and definitely constitutional order. It's all good. As President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief, it is my sole duty to protect the American people from the devastating effects of this Tren de Aragua invasion. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, by the authority vested in me by the Constitution, laws of the USA, include the Alien Enemies Act 50 U.S.C. 21, hereby proclaim and direct as follows. I find and declare that Tren de Aragua is perpetuating, attempting, and threatening an invasion or predatory incursion against the territory of the United States. TDA is undertaking hostile actions, conducting irregular warfare against the territory of the U.S. both directly and at the direction, clandestine or otherwise, of the Maduro regime in Venezuela. Based on these findings and by the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the U.S., I proclaim that all Venezuelan citizens 14 years of age or older who are members of Tren de Aragua are in the United States and are not actually naturalized or lawful permanent residents of the United States are liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies. I'm sure this will only be applied to members of Tren de Aragua. Remember, this suspends habeas corpus. The cops can literally just, like, find brown people and yoink them. You're not given legal access or a judge. They just remove you. It got blocked. Has it already been blocked? Temporarily blocked. All right. Only invoked 3 times while the country was at war to hasten the removal of citizens of enemy countries, but Trump is reportedly considering invoking it soon. Wait, hold on. How do you block it in anticipation? A federal judge has temporarily blocked his anticipated use of the act, but now he's actually used it. Keep reading. I hate doing that. Temporary restraining order Saturday. Order the government not to deport the men for at least 14 days while the case is litigated. Does it protect only those individuals? Or is it a blocking of this act altogether? I'm sure they'll follow it, yeah. I think this might only block these ones. I'm not sure if it... I don't think they can block... Yeah, these are orders to protect these ones from deportation. I don't think this is a block overall against the Alien Enemies Act. Just against these 5 Venezuelan citizens. Okay, act is still... Don't worry, guys. Hitler's still happening. Hitler is so back. I further find and declare that all such members of TDA are, by virtue of their membership in that organization, chargeable with actual hostility against the U.S. and are therefore ineligible for the benefits of 50 U.S.C. 22. Let me just... I'm not Kyle Kalinske, okay? Let me just remind myself. Uniform Code of Military Justice. Time allowed to settle affairs and deport. When an alien who becomes liable as an enemy in the manner prescribed in Section 21 of this title is not chargeable with actual hostility, they shall be allowed for the... basically, what he's saying is that because Tren de Aragua members are so dangerous, they're not going to get any time to recover, dispose of, remove their goods and effects, etc., etc. Basically, it means they don't get like a buffer time. They get launched from a catapult over the border into Venezuela. They do not get the buffer period. What is TDA? Tren de Aragua. I direct the Attorney General within 60 days of the date of this proclamation to prepare and publish a letter under her signature declaring the policy described in Section 1 of this proclamation as the policy of the United States and attaching this proclamation. I direct the Attorney General to transmit this letter to the Chief Justice of the United States, the Chief Judge of every Circuit Court of Appeals, the Chief Judge of every District Territorial Court, each Governor of a state and territory of the U.S., and the highest-ranked judicial officer, I direct that all alien enemies described in Section 1 of this proclamation are subject to immediate apprehension, detention, and removal, and further that they shall not be permitted residence in the United States. Pursuant to the Alien Enemies Act, the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security shall, consistent with applicable law, apprehend, restrain, secure, and remove every alien enemy described in Section 1 of this proclamation. The Secretary of Homeland Security retains discretion to apprehend and remove any alien enemy under any separate authority. All executive departments and agencies, parentheses, agencies, shall collaborate with law enforcement officials of the United States and with appropriate state, local, and tribal officials to use all lawful means to apprehend, restrain, secure, and remove alien enemies described in Section 1 of this proclamation. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is the first time that this act has ever been used while not at war with a country, correct? Because in this case, you can't invoke the Alien Enemies Act off of like a special military action off the presidency. Like it has to be a congressional declaration of war. But we don't have one right now. Unless direct mandate decrees. Bureaucracy, procedure. Isn't that why they designated the cartels as terrorists? Yeah, but there's the Alien Enemies Act is pursuant not to like be used against a terrorist group, but rather in the context of a nation, like a nation, a nationality of people. It's like, yeah, like it's a war, like legal war measure. I'm sorry for my ignorance. What prompted this? Well, the allegation is that Tren de Aragua is like destroying our country. Which, of course, Tren de Aragua is bad. It's a Venezuelan gang. They're bad. They do bad things. Probably not worth invoking the War Alien Enemies Unconstitutional Double Hitler Act over. Lots of bad things happen in the country. I don't think we should nuke ourselves over everyone. In reality, this is just about, giving federal and state and local agencies free rein to terrorize, to threaten, to implement essentially martial law under conditions. Fascists always do this. By creating and maintaining a permanent state of emergency, they whip up support and provide justifications for the recession of your rights, or the rescinding of your rights. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else here that's interesting apart from the stuff that you'd expect to see, the basic legalese. Alien enemies apprehended pursuant to this proclamation shall be subject to detention until removed from the United States in such place of detention as may be directed by the officers responsible for the execution of these regulations. Of course. Alien enemies shall be subject to removal to any such location as may be directed by the officers responsible for the execution of these regulations consistent with applicable law. All property in the possession of or traceable to an alien enemy which is used, intended to be used, or commonly used to perpetuate the hostile activity and irregular warfare of Tren de Aragua, along with evidence of such hostile activity and irregular warfare, shall be subject to seizure and forfeiture. The Attorney General is further granted authority pursuant to the Alien Enemies Act and 3 U.S.C. 301 in consultation with Homeland Security to issue any guidance necessary to effectuate the prompt apprehension, detention, and removal of all alien enemies. Okay. Well, Hitler is so back. Well, that just happened. The Fourth Reich's right behind me, isn't it? Seems bad. This only happened, this CNN article is out 31 minutes ago. I think this gives ICE legal authority to go into sanctuary cities because now you can charge local authorities with obstruction. You're right. That's true. They didn't have a legal way of compelling, well, not yet at least, compelling cooperation from sanctuary states, cities, etc. But now that they're doing so under this, and they have the legal ability to arrest whoever they want in pursuant of these alien enemies. Thanks, Chuck Schumer. Yes, please, everyone thank Chuck Schumer. After all of this is being done at the behest of the federal government, isn't it? There's no way for this to be done if the government shut down. Thank you, Chuck Schumer, for keeping our government open. It also allows the government to censor newspapers and media for writing articles against the Declaration. Is that true? I'm not aware of any component of the Alien Enemies Act which limits speech in that regard. I think you might be referring to the Sedition Act. Read the act itself. Yes, let's remind ourselves. Doesn't it need to get Congress to declare war to invoke this? Yeah, my understanding is that's the case, but it's not like law matters very much anymore. So, Yeah, let's read a legal document from 1798. Look, we'll get the gist of it, okay? 1 second. Granting the government additional powers to regulate non-citizens that would take effect in times of war. Under this law, the president can authorize the arrest, relocation, or deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. Yet more male disposability, female bias. Yeah, I don't think this... I think you're referring to the Sedition Act. The Sedition Act makes it illegal to make false or malicious statements about the federal government. If Trump ever puts forward the Sedition Act, that would be, to me at least, like the literally stuff your suitcase, leave the country right now, go, 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 like notification. Why only male? The law was written in 1798. Yeah, women didn't exist back then. What's the difference between the two laws? They're just completely different things. The Alien Enemies Act allows for the arrest, relocation, and deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. And the Sedition Act makes it illegal to make, quote, false or malicious statements about the federal government. Quote, unquote. Like, just two different laws. Dark time. I still have no idea what they're going to do, like legally parsing this. Like, are we declaring war in Venezuela without an act of Congress? Is he going to pressure Congress to affirm this order through declaration of law or of war? I don't know. The DOJ quickly appealed the judge's temporary restraining order to the DC Circuit Court of Appeals. Anyway, chat, remember your rights. Unfortunately, if like I'm just going to be straightforward with you. Like if the police decide that you are a member of Tren de Aragua and you're not a citizen of the United States, you don't get habeas corpus with this removal. You will be disappeared and put in a facility, and eventually they'll put you on a flight to Mexico or whatever the who the knows what they're going to do. Like you can say know your rights, but what's important to understand is that your rights have been rescinded. Like, know the rights you had, you know? Be aware of the rights that previously existed. I don't even know what you do. So if this passes run, it's already been declared. Sheesh. I'm kind of running out of. I'm trying to think of like something to provide like advice or like a hook to this or something. Trying to think like a plan. Yeah, I'm blanking a little bit on this, to be honest with you. The plan is make community with the people around you. Yeah, the general advice still applies. Everything that I've said, do your best, save money, build community, take care of your affairs, be strong, etc., etc. I'm trying to think of something specific here. I don't know if I can. I mean, it seems like there's not really going to be any legal recourse if you get roped up in this. Look, okay, you know what? Here's my advice. If you're a non-citizen in the United States, have a conversation with a citizen that you know in the United States and say like, hey, listen, if I stop like responding to you, like, check in on me. And if I'm not responding to you, it's likely because I've been nabbed. Like, they might have taken me to a facility and I have no legal recourse. Please find me. I get a little, like, a tracker chip in you, like a dog, I don't know. I don't think U.S. citizens are safe from this. The Roosevelt didn't just invoke the Alien Enemies Act. Vosh is not suicidal. That's true. Well,